Hello everyone, and welcome back to As Far as the Eye, where we have returned to our Awe tribe, proudly led by our druid Irene Moe, who is doing his best to gather up as many of the spices in the jungle as possible to give him some insight into the future of what our Awe tribe might need to be facing. And the next thing that we are actually going to have to face is an earthquake that will be arriving. So next week, as the moon, well, I don't know if these guys have the concept of weeks. So, in 7 days, as the sun rises and the moons set, we will have to be dealing with an earthquake. The remains crumble and prey will run for shelter. Each turn, permanent structures will suffer damage. So it sounds like the prey will actually fly off and we won't have much longer for our avid hunter, Kalulai, there we go, to be able to continue doing the hunting of these rare and beautiful cranes for as long as we want. However, they have gotten to the point where they can now harvest the meat from those rare and beautiful cranes, even though I like to pretend it's just their eggs. And we are getting to the point where we're getting to plus 10 per harvest cycle to all harvesting trades, which would be a huge boost that Kalulai could offer us. We also have so much food, I know for a fact we would not be able to carry it on our caravan with us. And we have recently constructed a market. And even though I think the market is definitely not exactly working out the way I hoped, it does have its perks. Like for the fact that Neon wants to finish repairing her cookhouse, but she cannot do that without having some wool. So to get the wool, we're actually going to try coming to the market. And even though I think the trade rate is absolutely terrible, we're going to go ahead and we are going to trade away the stone that we have, because we're actively manufacturing stone, to get the 9 pieces of wool that she actually needs to fix her cookhouse. So we're trading away 45 stone for 9 wool. I find that to be an absolutely ridiculous amount. However, it is going to go ahead and allow Neon to actually repair her precious cookhouse now. And we didn't really need that stone for anything else at the moment. Zuman is just kind of like working on building that skill. They also gain a whole bunch of knowledge every time that they gather up the stones now too. And eventually, when this pupil crosses a mountain, it will cost 1 less HP, which is really funny because Zuman cannot cross mountains, actually. They are terrified of going across mountains, so they won't be able to do that. I wonder how that's going to work out. But eventually, if you gain Stonecutter, you can either gain a lot of knowledge or more stone. And preservation means you remove half as many resources from the area. A 50% chance of remains appearing once the resource is fully exploited. We should look into doing that, my friends, because with our druid now able to turn all remains into positive ones, that would be amazing! Oh my gosh! And then again, when this pupil crosses a mountain, it costs 1 less MP. Yeah, Zuman's terrified of mountains, so that's not going to happen. And this pupil enchants a stone, which duplicates each turn, plus 1 stone per turn. Oh my gosh, Zuman could have a magic stone? I just want to let them really focus on being a stone cutter for a little while. And thankfully, stone seems to be one of those things that we can trade for the most in the market. And I want to try to do tons of trades in the market so we can maybe reduce the exchange cost. We are trying to save up some of our knowledge points so that we can hopefully upgrade the caravan before we leave. Maybe making it wider at the very least, or higher, so that we can have more space to put on, or to put all of our different things on. But I'm also tempted to like get the garden event. It's really hard to pick. And I'm also really tempted to give actually multi-function. In fact, I think we should do multi-function so that we can gather spices right away. Oh, that's so tempting. We're basically going to try to stay here as long as we can because it is a great place to gather up as much knowledge as we can with Iron helping out with a ton of knowledge every harvest cycle, and all of the others doing their part too. And the tricky part is just making sure everybody is doing something useful. So Pepkin is bringing back a whole bunch of Pepkins. Oh yay, and Pepkin actually leveled up, I think. Did you, my friend? Alright, good job, Pepkin. Oh, and we have finished with all of the spices that can be gathered from there. And we have just moved our sawmill, which now has plus 20% yield, by the way. Ooh, and if we get 60 steel, then we'll actually be able to get +1 wood per turn for every adjacent jungle and forest. That could actually add up a lot faster than I thought. So we might use the market to actually exploit all of this extra stone we have. Cool. For now, we need to use the market to try to get more wool and to try to get more steel. And since the wool could be used for other things, let's see, we'll just wait until we can trade as much wool for as much wool as possible. Because even if we don't get enough wool to do the market upgrade so that the market costs less, it would be useful to have wool so that we could have more storage space with backpacks. And we can have many, many backpacks now that we have so many tribe members. All right, let's carry on. Really, our biggest goal is to stay here until Irene gets to the point that they can have foresight and see any of the major events that might happen as soon as we arrive at a new halt. And I think that can only maybe trigger like once we arrive at a new halt. So we'll have to see. All right. Oh, good, good, good. We almost have enough knowledge to be able to do our special ability. Oh, is the earthquake here? Did the earthquake go away? Did it just vanish? Were we protected somehow? I am not gonna ask questions. The earthquake didn't arrive. I am not gonna ask questions. Everybody just contentedly continue on, but this place is going to flood in 25 turns actually. So we will need to move on sooner than I wish. Okay. Is everybody gathering things? Neon, you have the... What do you mean you need resources? You need 5 more wool. You've been standing there this whole time, Neon. Alright, let's get 5 more wool with all of the stone. Neon, you nimnut. You get back to repairing, please. Oh, and we are now out of stone. Aw, man. Alright, well, I guess we'll just have to take as much stone as we have and be content with that. Let's see, what can we trade? Can we get as much? We unfortunately will not be able to get as many of the wool pieces as I wanted, but we can trade away enough pieces to at least get 1 backpack. Okay, I need 10 more. 10 more pieces of wool. Well, we can trade the rest of the stone away. And then I guess we're not going to be able to bring the ore with us. This is a good way, now that we're getting to the point where we're towards the end of being able to stay in an area at a halt anyway, to trade away the extra resources. So I take back the way I was like, the market's useless. And then I'm going to make... You know what? Let's hold off on the multifunction until we arrive at the next caravan. And I'm gonna do... I think I do want to. I want to make it wider. I think that's what we would want to do, is make the caravan wider. Or maybe I'm gonna hold off. I'm gonna save our knowledge points until we reach the next caravan. And at the worst comes to worst, make a backpack. We'll work on that. Alright, zoom on, return the resources. There's a shake that's going to happen soon. All permanent buildings will lose 50 HP, which means we will lose our Hunter's Lodge. Do I want to fix that? Probably, because it's only 10 to fix it. So let's fix the Hunter's Lodge so that hopefully doesn't happen. So we can continue gathering food. And then Nihon, you actually come over here, you goose. And if you're going to be like that, work on the Hunter's Stew. So we have enough food to take with us. Alright, there we go. And thankfully, like, we were getting a little low on food again. Not terribly low, but enough for it to kind of be something to pay attention to. Neon! She turned from a firefox into a little piggy! Oh, you guys, why is that so perfect for her? I love her, and I love her story. I can't believe she just became a little piggy. Yay! Okay, so, do we want her to learn Game a la Pepkin? Or do we want her to learn sea tartar? I guess we could go with sea tartar because we already know all of the chef recipes for... Well, we already know both the chef recipes, actually. So let's just have her continue to work with what she's known for so long. If you choose this talent, the people will not be able to unlock the other talent for this trait. That's fine. And we'll just carry on. There we go. Oh, I'm so proud of you, Neon! And now she will actually make things even more efficiently, which means that... she'll get like almost 80 food out of 30 food. Very good, very good, very good. I really don't need to worry there. All right, Irene Mo, how are you doing? Oh, I feel like we're getting really close, you guys. And then we fixed... There we are. We fixed the Hunter's Lodge. And I think just having Kalui continue to hunt, even if we aren't using all of the meat for food right now, is a good idea. Oh my gosh, Zuman, are you seriously trying to haul all the way from the other side? That's a waste of your time, sir. He really, really wants to be a stone cutter and get his magic stone, it seems. How many more moves do we have? 20? Sir, I really feel like you should be gathering something else. Meanwhile, we're getting close on the pepkin gathering, so we consume less food. That makes me happy. Like wool? Wool would actually be more useful. I'm not gonna lie. Like, wool would be a lot more useful, Zuman. All permanent buildings would lose. Alright, we're gonna build a pasture with the extra wood. Which has this pasture... So this has 265, 265. The bog has 100. So these pastures, these plains, have a lot more wool. I'm actually going to have Zuman work on gathering up wool. 25% preservation. The pupil removes 25% less resources. Because if we can make more... If we could make more mobile areas, that would be great. Like a mobile pasture with that special thing where the pupil doesn't have to leave the area to harvest wool. Oh, that would be amazing. That would, because now we're starting to see where all of the wool would be useful. And it seems if I had wool, what's one of the best trade, like, benefits? Let me see. We could get wood with... If we had wool, then you could get fish and pepkin and wood and game. Wool seems to be pretty valuable until you get to like stone and ore. And if I wanted ore, what's the most valuable thing? It's stone. But wool is really, it's pretty close up there. I mean, game for wool, 10 game for wool. I mean, that's, we could probably get enough wool to be able to make a few backpacks if I wanted to spend the knowledge points before we leave. Especially if we go ahead and build a pasture. So I'm gonna go ahead and build a pasture right here, right here. I mean, we're gonna leave pretty soon. Probably sooner than we can harvest all of this, so we'll build it right here. Alright, and Zuman also loves being a builder. They've been an engineer. Oh, specializes in the construction of mobile buildings. Oh yeah, one day, Zuman. I need to remember that. And then an architect specializes in permanent buildings and plus 50 HP to permanent buildings built by this. Oh, Zuman, yeah, we'll just have Zuman build with all this extra wood we've got. Why not? I mean, huge benefits to us. All right, Iron, come on, Iron. Get those spices up there. Alright, and we've now exploited all of the pepkin in one area. And we're getting closer. We'll continue our pepkin harvest. I actually think that would be very good. And Zuman... Wait, Zuman, what are you doing? Oh, Zuman, gather wool. I didn't recognize the pasture because the last few pastures I've made. Oh, Zuman, you're so cute! I love when they gather the wool and they change into different shapes. Oh, it's so precious. Oh my gosh. Alright, good. Everybody is just working with their own natures. I think Neon has actually made enough food again, and we might have Neon pivot to gathering maybe pepkin. Yeah, because then we'd consume even less. So let's pivot to gathering pepkin as well. So we gather even less resources. I think that'd be a good idea. I don't think we can... Oh, we could build a mobile harvest hut. We have just enough for that, actually. So if we wanted to build a mobile harvest hut, we could. I mean, I would want Zuman to build it. And Neon was working on becoming a good grower, but now they're just like an expert chef. So they are our chef. Sorry, Pepkin. That's just the way things are going to be. And Irene... Oh, so close to being able to become a master druid. Alright, but we do need to leave very soon. In fact, we should probably leave today. So let's stop making food for just a minute. Because we definitely do not have enough room to store the food. Absolutely do not have enough room to store the food. But I guess that would just help. Yeah, and that would help Neon become more skilled. So I'm actually going to gather pumpkin. Because, I mean, well, but if I can't bring the food with us and we gain more experience, I mean, might as well just carry on with being a chef then. Alright. Coming back. Everybody is working hard. How's Kalui? Kalui is gaining these resources. It's really nice to see that the rare, the fine meats seem to be harder to exploit all the way. Zuman has now gotten to the point where they will gain knowledge every time. Oh, and we've gathered so much wool. That is excellent. That was totally worth doing, so that now we can make more backpacks if we really feel we need to. Oh, there's 4 turns before the flood? Alright, time to get out of here, guys. We gotta go! We unfortunately did not manage to gather everything. Alright, time to go! Time to go, friends! Everybody, it's time to get out of here. There's no more time. We're gonna wait. Don't repack the cookhouse just yet. I mean, let's upgrade the things we can upgrade before we go. Sawmill? Maybe we can upgrade the sawmill if we trade enough of the extra things to be able to get the ore. And then cookhouse, then we could get 20% production if 2 pupils are working there, and we could work side by side with Pepkin. So why not? I mean, we could probably end up using the wool for other stuff though. Okay, it is now time to leave. Unfortunately, we didn't get Iron Mow fully trained up, but we're really close. So we just need to have them harvest a few more spices. We need to spend our points without spending too many points. I think we'll make 1 backpack. Maybe. No, I think we should make ourselves wider. Yeah, that's probably what we should do, is make ourselves wider. And then we'll have to just build up to be able to becoming a multifunction again. So let's make ourselves wider. Ah, okay, gotta be careful, because even though there wasn't a notification, we did do that, and now we're 1 wider for our whole area. And then we'll spend whatever we can upgrading. So the sawmill, can I get enough steel? Let's try trading. I want to get more ore. And I have a ton of game that we're probably just not going to bring with us. So how much ore do I need for the sawmill upgrade? 60. All right, let's see if I could do that. Like, I've got a bunch of wood. And if I only have like 200 wood. So if I gave all my wood, I could get 5 ore. Yeah, we're not bringing the wood with us, so we'll do that. I have a whole bunch of pepkin. That is emergency food, so I would really like to keep that. The game would have to be cooked. And we have a lot of extra spices. So let's go to extra spices next. Alright, we need to be careful because we do need to keep at least... Yeah, so let's do like 240 spices. Whew, yeah, that's probably getting... I mean, we'll want to shave as many spices as we can off because we can always just harvest nude spices. So that means... Let's see, about 80. We can get rid of 80 spices. And no more! No more! Be super careful. There's no confirmation or anything. So let's leave the spices alone. We don't want to bring any of the stones with us. This is actually a lot better so we don't bring a lot of waste. Or we don't end up with a lot of waste of resources. And we don't feel badly for leaving things behind. Alright, and then the game... I'm not going to bring the game with us because we can get so much more of it so much faster. So let's do, like, how much do we want to trade? I need 60. Oh, I don't think we're going to be able to pull it off. Yeah. I don't think we're going to be able... Oh, man. Yeah, we'll be so close and yet so far from being able to do that upgrade. Oh, and I gave away all of our wood. Oh, no. So I gave away all of our wood for the wood production, too. Alright, so game, do I want to switch that to wood? So that I can get, how much wood do I need to be able to upgrade the cookhouse? 60? Alright, let's try that. Let's take the game. And I need just like another... There we go. 26. And now I have 60 wood. We'll upgrade that. Yay! So now the cookhouse can, I think, have 2 people in it? It must be built on a plane. Once they are a chef, assign a pupil. Cannot host anymore. So what does that mean? If 2 pupils are working in the building. Ah! So I think I just upgraded for nothing. But that's okay. It was resources we weren't going to use anyway. And then... I don't think I can get enough steel for the upgrade that I want. And... I think we're probably good to go. I overthink this every time because I get so nervous. But alright, I'm gonna put everything together and get ready to go. Alright, so I really wish I had been able to get more ways to store things in our giant yak, and we definitely want to work on prioritizing having more storage space. But that being said, we're probably not going to starve. We have to leave behind 850 food, so I think we can probably ease off of creating as much food, maybe, depending on the resources of the next halt. We have had all of our other tribes starve to death, so I'm just a little sensitive about making sure there's at least enough food to go around. That's extremely important. However, we are going to be able to make it to the next halt. We have both of our mobile units with us. We have got a whole bunch of the delicious meals that have been created by Neon, and we have one little potion that we were able to sneak in there and tag along. So let's do this. All right, we're gonna go ahead and leave. And the world has now flooded the medium marsh halt behind us, leaving us at the medium ancient forest, where we're going to have to decide, will we be able to rebuild the collapsed bridge and make our way over to the medium protected halt, or will we need to rush ourselves across with a ton of fish, as many fish as we can possibly carry, to the migration route in order to find our way to the small fertile land. And from there, will we go across the pumpkin fields with a whole bunch of steel, or a whole bunch of the ore? Will we rebuild the collapsed bridge with food and ore and wood? Or will we go onward to the medium protected halt and then go across the plowed fields with hundreds of stone and cereal and someone who learns how to grow things? Or will we go across the crevasse with hundreds of stone and hundreds of pieces of food to the small protected halt as we continue to try to push our way towards the eye? Oh, where are we now? There's fancy fish, fancy birds, and a lake. Wow. All right, friends. And we will have to figure out where we are and what it will mean for us, and also what to do with these 2. The Awe tribe followed the sacred road and they ended up right next to a bunch of remains. What we are going to do with these 2 fancy remains next time. So thank you guys so much for joining me. If you could, do please leave a like for our traveling caravan, who is definitely doing their best to try to survive this unknown new land. And if you would like to join us on this and literally thousands more adventures, do please consider subscribing. But most importantly, my friends, stay curious. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.